Several years ago, I had an ethics final where I asked my students, I was at Southern Seminary at the time, about what they would do in a situation where a woman comes forward at the end of a service and says, I want to be baptized, I want to become a Christian, but I'm biologically, I was born a man, biologically, I've had gender reassignment surgery. What does it mean for me to repent? The thing that I noticed at the moment was many of my students thought that was a trick question. And I had to say, this isn't a trick question. You are going to be dealing with this in your ministries, and every ministry is either dealing with these issues, will be shortly dealing with these issues, or simply not on mission in their communities around them. And so I wish that everyone understood, first of all, what really is going on here, which is a larger question of whether or not God has put creational limits on us and whether God is Lord over our biological createdness, and whether or not God has created us as a unity of self and body. I think that's an important question that goes far deeper than just the transgender question. But then secondly, to be able to understand and empathize with transgender persons and to see them as all of us are, fallen and broken, but not to see them as freaks. And so sometimes I will see people kind of dismissing those who have gender dysphoria as just to be ridiculed. No, if we're on mission with Christ, that means that the message of Christ is going to every person, which means we have to have churches that teach from the very beginning, the earliest points of childhood, what it means to be a man and what it means to be a woman in biblical terms, not in cultural stereotype terms. And I think, frankly, many of these culturally stereotypical views of masculinity and femininity actually fuel the transgender movement. Because if you have the young girl in our church who doesn't like princesses and dolls, she'd rather be riding a four-wheeler out with her dad. In a previous era, she would have just been seen to be a rough and tumble little girl. Now in our cultural environment, she may ask, does that mean I'm not a woman at all? Does that mean I'm something else? We have a complex biblical view of what it means to be a man and a woman, to teach that, and then also to equip our people to be able to patiently disciple and work with those who feel alienated from their genders. I mean, we're all as fallen creatures alienated from our createdness at some point or other. Some people are alienated from their sense of being a man and a woman. We need men to patiently work with men who are experiencing that kind of dysphoria, and women who are patiently able to work with women who are doing the same thing, knowing that this isn't an overnight situation. This is as with all of us, a long pattern of discipleship and sanctification.